One more time. Yeah, I had technical difficulties there. Don't know why. Is there a technical difficulty here? Still? Okay. Hopefully not. I'll just raise this up and sit back from the mic and see if we can get it done. Okay. I have received a letter from someone that's really done a lot of research into this George Soros, Stanley Kubrick, Eyes Wide Shut thing, MK Ultra, which I know there's a whole anti-MK Ultra thing out there that says that anyone that talks about MK Ultra is really programmed and trying to program other people as a shill, and that's BS. But I will continue, I will continue. Oh, no, I understand the games. This is something everyone wants to keep a secret. Stanley Kubrick lost his life 3 days after screening this film for Warner Brothers. Okay, I'm going to rest my case right there. You know what it was about. This is the thing they want to keep a secret. They will kill to keep a secret. At the same time, Kubrick, the enigmatic director, nonconformist director, was trying to speak about things that were obviously plaguing him. And the public didn't ever even find out. They didn't even know the brilliance of Eyes Wide Shut or what he was trying to say. He was more interested in saying something than he was in actually doing some kind of a, conspiracy story about an elite that sacrifices people and has orgies. That wasn't the point. Anyway, I received this letter. And I will let unless otherwise told, this person will remain anonymous. He says, "Hey, Zeph, I've been following your show." And because it's 13 pages of handwritten, it deserves to be read. I mean, because there's a real consistency and cogency here, a real clarity here. And I think it gives us an idea about why, the cover-ups, why everything you hear is a lie, why they don't care if they lie, why there's an extreme conspiracy going on against the people. And then, what's coming up is, the massive satanic sacrifice to bring the New World Order in. And that's what they're all gearing up for. And it's these are psychopaths on steroids. Let's not use that cliche, shall we? Psychopaths high on blood. I have been following your show for several years, Zeph, and I have learned a lot from it over the course of that time. In particular, I gained new insights into the dark forces and principalities that guide this world from the shadows. I believe you have been very sincere and that you earnestly search for the truth rather than self-gain, as so many others in the alternative media do. I can see that in recent podcasts, you talk about a man by the name of George Soros. Yes, I do agree that this man gained power from dark forces. And himself is an elitist Judas goat. But did you know that he was portrayed in a major motion picture a decade ago? I believe it was the film that you most likely saw. And can you guess the title? The name of that film is Eyes Wide Shut. I'm sure you remember it. During the party, a little iced tea there. During the party scene, the first party scene now, not the orgy, there is an older man who approaches Nicole Kidman's character, and that's him. I don't know why, but I just had a feeling that he was George Soros. But this feeling was confirmed upon later research. The name of the character is Sándor Zavost, which is a Hungarian name, and this is important. Now, in his effort to seduce Nicole Kidman's character, Sándor himself reveals that he has many contacts in publishing. Soros also has this influence as well, under his Open Society initiatives. One odd point about the dialogue was when Sándor declares, "I am Hungarian," out of the blue. He had to just say, "I am Hungarian." No. I thought that this was somewhat out of place and forced. But it was what Stanley Kubrick wanted in the film, and imagine my surprise when I later discovered that Soros originated from Hungary. I have no doubt that his personality is portrayed in Kubrick's film. I always thought that Bill Hartford, Tom Cruise's character, was based on Kubrick himself, and I believe that Kubrick had contacts with the Rockefellers. The character Victor Ziegler is based on none other than Nelson Rockefeller. Notice the similarities in wealth and social status. The name Ziegler is a play on the name Rockefeller. You could say Victor Ziegler or Rockefeller is a play on the name Roggenfelter, which both surnames of German origin. Rockefeller, of course, would later become Rockefeller, as the family would soon rise in prominence in American society. Interestingly, Ziegler means bricklayer, and that is certainly what the Rockefeller sold out rapper Jay-Z calls them Rockefeller family has been doing in the building of his New World Order, which is, yeah. No, Hitler was nothing compared to this. This family has been instrumental in creating the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, with the infamous Zbigniew Brzezinski, who I've covered before, and I will deal with this in a bit, and the United Nations, which we've all been dealing with, unfortunately. Now, Victor Ziegler's first name, Victor, is a reference to Admiral Lord Nelson, who won the most decisive victory against Napoleon during the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. Just as in the case of Soros' connection to this film, I was not aware of the fact that when I first considered Victor Ziegler to be Nelson Rockefeller, interestingly, in the rough draft of Kubrick's script, Victor Ziegler makes a reference to Napoleon, but this was left out of the film's release. I'm not even going to ask who this person is, but obviously they have scripts that were not filmed. Okay, so I mean, it's not just, this is not going down to the library. Now here's another interesting connection, and this time to MK Ultra survivor Bryce Taylor, whom I've spoken of quite often. The Rockefellers are well known, which goes back to LA society, okay, which goes back to the LA Mafia, which goes back to LA Satanism, which goes back to the which then leads to Washington through Hollywood, which then leads to Zurich and Paris and London and on, and back to Rome, and then on to Athens, and then on to right. Okay, I said I would not editorialize, and I'm going to keep reading. Now here's another interesting connection. This time to MK Ultra survivor Bryce Taylor. The Rockefellers are well known for their lavish Christmas parties. I think this is also supported to be implied that Victor Ziegler, in the beginning of the film, Nicole's character asks why they always get invited to these Christmas parties. According to Bryce Taylor, who was used as a sexual servant to the elite during these parties, they were meant to set up strong connections between power players as well as get them acquainted with MK Ultra slaves. Notice the preponderance of the MK Ultra slaves at Victor Ziegler's party. Two of them made a unsuccessful attempt at seducing Bill Hartford, Tom Cruise's character,